Well, welcome to Kabul. We're here for the Shpageeza Cricket League 2017. This is a crunch game here today. It's match 13. There was Zirazai Ainak Knights against the Muslimia Speen Ghar Tigers. And it's a simple equation. If the Speen Ghar Tigers lose it, they're out of the competition. The Boost defenders will qualify. That will confirm that for you. The Boost defenders have played all their 5 games. They're on 4 points. But they have a healthier run rate than the Speen Ghar Tigers at this stage. Therefore, if the Tigers lose, they will stay in that 5th position and the Boost defenders will go through. The Ainak Knights, well, they're in 2nd position at this stage. And if they win, they go to 8 points and are well on their way to qualifying in 2nd position. And that will mean that they will have 2 bites of the cherry, because even if they lose the playoff, they will get into a 2nd round game against the winner of the qualifier 3 and 4. So very interesting for both sides and what they need to play for today and what the inspiration will be. The Ainak Knights, Mohammed Nabi is the captain, the inspirational captain. Hasn't quite hit his straps in this tournament thus far, but maybe he's saving it for the back end of the tournament. They've all made some decent contributions. Dalvat Zadran, what about him yesterday? With bat and ball, needing 16 off the last over, and he won it with a ball to spare to get the Knights to 6 points. Vusi Sabanda, Ryan Bill, Sekunda Raza, the 3 overseas players from Zimbabwe, they still in the outfit and they still need to keep performing for their sides. The Speen Ghar Tigers, Shafiqullah is the captain and the wicket-keeper. Aftab Alam, Nur Ali have been really good. Elton Chigambura, well, he's going to have to come to the party today, try and find the boundary, because their backs are against the wall, the Tigers, and they need to win to keep themselves in the competition. Confirmation as well that the Ainak Knights have won the toss and elected to bowl first. Oh, misfield straight away. It'll just be the one, but that's not the way you want to start. You need to be right on the money from the get-go. A little round armour from Mohammed Nabi, and, well, it should have just been a simple piece of field. He's gone down. I'll tell you what, he's holding the back of his knee, or his knee seems to be in all sorts of trouble.
It seemed pretty innocuous, didn't it? It didn't look like a very hard fall or anything at all. So you wonder what's going on here. It can't be cramp. We've seen a lot of cramp over this tournament, so you wonder what he's done there.
Well, this will give us a better indication. There it is, just clipped away on the leg side. You'd think it was a pretty standard piece of fielding. And I don't know, has he landed on that left knee? That's what he's holding at the moment. It's hard to tell from that angle exactly what transpired, but he didn't get up, and he was left clutching that left knee. The physio's out there at the moment. Let's hope that it's not too bad, that he's able to get some of the magic spray and able to get up and running again.
Yeah, it really did look like an innocuous little fall. Didn't look like anything. There's nothing obvious there. Sometimes you see the fielder land hard on their knee, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's nothing serious, because it only takes to be twisted or jammed in a certain position, and tendons of the ligaments of the knees are so sensitive. So fantastic physiotherapy we've had on this trip so far, so I'm sure they'll have it under control and have him up and running soon.
It's Ryan Bill. He's the Zimbabwean international and the overseas player that's gone down, and he's flexing it, trying to get it in motion again, but I'm not sure that it's okay. I'm not sure that he's going to stay on the field. I think that he's making his way off the field, just taking precautionary measures.
Oh, that's a bad start, and we've just been hearing from the back of the commentary box that he's had major knee surgery, which saw him out recently for 12 months. So so what he's saying there is, the signal he's giving is that he placed his foot down and his knee twisted. So that's obviously some damage to the ligaments or tendons inside there. Sometimes when the foot gets placed in the ground and doesn't move, the knee can rotate, and that causes a lot of flexion on the knee and all those ligaments and tendons in there. Sometimes it can look very innocuous, but
there it is again. So yeah, it did look pretty innocuous, but he stayed down, did Ryan Bill. Adam Holyoke giving you the background there as to the knee surgery, so no surprises that he's going to go off the field, probably put some ice on there, or just stay off it, because a long international season ahead for Zimbabwe, and he wants to make sure he's ready for that. Short on this occasion, put away. He's found the gap really well. Didn't try and hit it too hard and placed it to perfection. Not a great delivery, you'd have to say, from Mohamed Nabi.
Not a great start for the Knights. 2 balls, 5 runs, 1 fielder down. It's pretty much a disastrous first couple of deliveries for them.
Not a great deal of turn, and you really wouldn't expect that with the new ball on this particular surface and the pace that Mohamed Nabi's bowling as well.
I did notice when I was out there that this wicket started a little bit damper each morning. Spoke to the groundsman yesterday. Wasn't fortunate enough to find him this morning, but spoke to him yesterday, and he said he'd placed more water on the pitch the night before in an attempt to hold it together because later in the day the wicket was cracking up.
A sweep, that'll be another boundary. He's not on the money as Mohamed Nabi. That one was leg side, drifting down. Nobody out on the boundary on the leg side. And all he had to do was help it on its way up and over square leg, another boundary.
Yeah, it's not a good start for the Knights. I mean, a couple of loose deliveries. Obviously the injury there as well. So they need to get their mind back on the game quickly here.
Happy to defend the last delivery, but it's been a decent one for the Speen Ghar Tigers. 9 for none. Most runs in the Shpageeza Cricket League. Usman Ghani, 164, and that's for the Tigers, and he's in at the moment. Cameron Delport, he went home, but 163 for him, courtesy of that century, scintillating century that he scored. Ashgar Staniksai from the Eagles. Vusi Sabanda, 148 for him, for the Knights. And Hasmatullah Shahidi and Navroz Mangal, 143 and 139, respectively.
Well, yeah, we just heard from the back of the box here that Ryan Bell had 2 or 3 major surgeries in June. Shoulder and knee. Well, that's actually only 2. But total reconstruction. So they rebuilt him in June 2016. We're just hoping that this is just a niggle and isn't anything as serious as that. But that's very unusual to have 2 reconstructions in different body parts at the same time of the year. So
yeah, let's hope that it's nothing too serious, that it's just a precautionary measure, that he's left the field, he'll be able to come out and bat, and it won't be too serious. Interesting that Mohamed Nabi opened the bowling. You would think that having won the toss and elected to bowl first, you would try and use a couple of seamers early on, because that would be the reason that you wanted to bowl first, to see if there was any lateral movement, or maybe he was just double bluffing. The batsmen were expecting the seam and he thought he would just sneak it over from himself. Didn't really pan out. Naveen Haq, he's a seamer and he's going to take the new ball. He's been really good, Naveen Haq, youngster, under 19 cricketer, given the responsibility of bowling with the new ball throughout this tournament, and he's done a pretty good job as well.
Yeah, interesting decision, wasn't it, to open with spin. I can only think that they're thinking that maybe with the dampness, the extra water the groundsman's been putting on over night time, that maybe it's going to grip in the wicket and in that wetness. That's all I can think, but there's a little bit going against the grain trying to do that. Usually you'd open with seam.
Oh, that's not a great start either. We need to get their act together here, the Ainak Knights. Mohamed Nabi's first over went for 9. Naveen Haq has charged in and tested the middle of the pitch down the leg side. So he'll start off with a wide. Maybe just getting a few of the nerves out of the system. And he'll be back on track the second delivery. Just get the impression sometimes maybe tries to bowl too fast. Naveen Haq just needs to kick it back a gear or two and try and find a rhythm. That's better. Back on the money.
Well, that's where you want to be. I think on this type of wicket, if you can keep it there or thereabouts, almost like as if you're trying to play the batsman to play a perfect back foot defence, that's the length to be on this wicket. it's not coming on. Some are skidding, some are holding up a little bit, and I think that's the place to be.
Worked away on the leg side. Should just be one, but they're coming back for two. Taking on the fielder and making it easily. That's really good stuff.
Yeah, it's a really quiet start by the Knights, isn't it? They haven't come out. Obviously the coach Andy Moles would have been in there firing them up and trying to get them motivated. This is a must-win game for them and the boost defenders, and they've come out and they're just a little bit flat. So they need to pick it up, and they need to pick it up quickly. There's not long to get it right in these 20-over games.
Oh, he's got him! Excellent piece of bowling. He tried the big heave-ho over the leg side. Did Usman Ghani. That's a big wicket. He's the leading run scorer in the tournament. And Naveen ul Haq with his third delivery. He's got it spot on and crashed into off stump.
Yeah, well, Usman Ghani had a good long hard look at the wicket after he got out there, and I was wondering why. You have a look at the replay there. That's jagged back quite a lot off the wicket. It's we haven't seen a lot of seam movement in here, but that one in particular seemed to jag back quite viciously.
Yeah, he's got to go. It's a big wicket, a big scalp, 12 for 1. Couldn't see those yesterday. But he saw that one enough, right up the middle of the bat. Two full, two straight, half volley length from Naveen ul Haq, and he's bashed it down the ground.
That's a very elegant shot. Doesn't matter whether the test match cricket, 50-over cricket or T20, that's just textbook. Just lent into it, not a massive stride, elbow up, straight out of the textbook Cambo. A little bit reminiscent of yourself back in the day, mate.
The nice high elbow, not trying to hit it too hard. Excellent stroke. There's a change of pace. Really, really good. Well, he's come a long way down as Sajjad Ali. Should have been a single, really. As soon as the keeper fumbled it, he would have seen how far it went from him. But his partner, the striker, ball watching.
Yeah, that's the important thing you mentioned there, Cambo. That's the non-striker's call there. And he really, the batsman's here, we see him there looking back, and he should be really listening and looking at his non-striking partner. Missed opportunity there, probably should have been a single.
That's up in the air, another change of pace, and it will be another boundary. He picked it. Didn't pick the last one, but on that occasion, he's onto it in a flash.
Yeah, that's I mean, good change of pace, but it's important when you bowl that change of pace that you're not up there in the hitting zone. You've still got to hit your lengths, whether that be a slower Yorker or the back of a length. You can't just let the batsman swing through it like that, and the batsman taking full control of that and advantage of the fact that he's got too full on him.
For all of you viewers out there, Adam Hollyoak, former captain of England, one of the pioneers of the cunning, the flight and guile, the slower ball. He invented all of that, and the knuckle ball. What was your psyche insofar as when you wanted to bowl it and how often you bowled it?
Well, they were all slow, mate. There was I just didn't have the option or the ability to bowl a fast one. So the more important thing, I think, is we all have slow balls. We all have different ones. Some are good, some are bad. The thing which I think a lot of these players miss is you still have to hit your length. You still have to get that right length. If you bowl a great slow ball, but it's up there in the hitting zone, you can just swing through it if you're defeated. But if the ball's on the right length still, then you're in business.
It's all about trying to second guess the batsman as well, I suppose. That'll be a single. For instance, on that occasion, he bowls a good one and follows it up with another one. Is that something you would do?
Absolutely. I used to, and then sometimes follow it up with another one because the batsman might be thinking there's no way he's going to bowl 3 in a row. But the delivery before, when he got hit over the top, the slow ball itself was a good disguise, and it came out slow, obviously, but the length was just wrong, and that was what enabled the batsman to get it up and over and change his mind and hit that 4.
All of you youngsters listening out, there it is. It's not just about honing your physical skills, but you need to hone your psychological skills as well, the mental skills. Again, he takes him on over the top. Oh, he didn't get enough on it. I thought when he hit it, he had. But it teased the fielder for a long while, and in the end, they run through for 2.
Yeah, it looked like for all money it was going straight up in the air, but he's just got enough on it there to get it over the fielder. Made a valiant effort to run back as fast as he could, but in the end just got it just lucky enough to get enough on it.
"11 off the over, a good one for the Speen Ghar Tigers. Make that 12. They needed it. They needed to get their innings underway. They needed a big over to get the added impetus. 4 ball, 29 for 1.
Points table, and this is where it gets interesting in cricket. And you look at the both defenders, totally out of the tournament most of the time, but on paper they have some gun players. All of a sudden they qualify, get to finals day, and oh my goodness, you see the both defenders out there.
Yeah, it's a different game. So just to give an understanding in the finals, 1 will play 2, 3 will play 4. The winner of 3 and 4 will play the loser of 1 and 2, and of course then we go into the final. Pretty easy once we get going. Good piece of fielding, good work. This is where they're good tonight. They're pretty well organised in the field.
Yeah, my point is that you find a team that's been out of it for most of the tournament and they just get a little lifeline and they get an opportunity and they make those opportunities count, and on paper they have so many players that can affect a T20 game. So how important is this one? So important to the Boost defenders.
It's momentum, isn't it? That's what it's about. And all of a sudden you get a win in the semi-final and you win in the eliminator, and then you're in the final and anything can happen. It's a different tournament, different rules.
Defended 88 yesterday.
How did that happen? I'm still shaking my head. Just get one there. And the reason why we say, folks, when you only have 12 overs and the total you're chasing is 88, 999 times out of 1,000 that total is reached, and they lost by 23. They got belted. You don't lose games in rain-affected matches or dust storm affected matches as we had yesterday. Let's hope that stuff stays away all day.
Yeah, we hope it stays away, because it just does not bring continuity to the T20 game. And man, that wind blew. Some of the advertising hoarding is still being repaired, but the dust, I promise you, was thick. And it settled in here at the Kabul International Cricket Stadium.
Looking to get 2 here. Oh, they're going for 2 down now. There's a trouble at the keeper's end, and he makes it. Terrific running, gutsy call, good skills, well executed between the wickets.
Excellent throw as well from the man in the deep. Showed awareness that he needed to get it back to the keeper, because the man that actually set off for the second run on this occasion was the hitter. So he had to just get his skates on here.
There was one throw, one step too many that the fieldsman took there, and that was the difference of 2 meters, and that was the difference in the result. So he picked the ball up pretty well. Anyway, we'll talk about it more. 8 overs gone, 59 for 1. Highlights of the power play in the first 6 overs here. They got 49, and when you get 49 from 1, you normally go, teams go on to make big scores. There's the first one to go. Speen Ghar funny, I had to go early, but then they've started well. I thought they worked the ball very well. A couple of good shots down the ground. Looks a good pitch to me. I thought it might actually be a little bit harder to bat on, but it's actually played very, very well indeed. Another 6 down the ground. So a lot of different change-ups, but all in all, you have to say at this current stage, the Tigers, the Speen Ghar Tigers are on top at the moment, and they've got momentum.
Change in the bowling. Zahir Khan. And Dino talked me through this one. He's coming on from the commentary end. 6 wickets, so 5 matches, and I tell you, this boundary on the leg side is very short.
And that's where he's been hit. Look, he's got wickets, but it's cost him. He's been gone for over 9.3 runs per over, but the kid, he'd be happy as Larry. He got picked up in the Bangladesh Premier League. Oh, his parents and family be absolutely stoked for the youngster. What's he, 17, just turned 18? And this is where he bowls too short, but this is an effort. Oh, what a gutsy call. What a great gutsy effort there out in the deep. He went forward and nearly got that.
Pusimusi Sibanda, electric off the fence. We spoke about the shorter boundary. Noan Ali Zadran doesn't get all of it. Here comes the dive. Oh, yes, good effort. Just pops out as the wrists make contact with the ground. Oh, that's nearly gone along the ground as well. Fielding. One-handed, 1 mitt, throws it in.
Oh, I love that stuff. That's brilliant work there. Navedul Haq there. Look, a beautiful one-handed play, picked it up, beautiful throw. That reminds the batsman, don't be a little bit careful on him. Now, the batsmen know, Zahir, when he makes a bad ball, bowls a bad ball, it's short. He doesn't bowl it full. So the batsmen are just getting on the back foot, waiting for that short one.
Some excellent fielding out here. Navedul Haq. And that also just picks up the team. Also sends a good message to the teammates and a good momentum once they get into batting, showing that they want it out there, the Knights. Short again, through the leg side. Oh no, what have you done? We just built you up, Naveen.
He got stuck between the devil and the deep blue sea. He didn't know whether to attack it or sit back, and he decided to, I'll sit back. He was going forward there, and then he realised he's looking for the spin. I'm going to cut him some slack there. I think it was a bit tough, bit of a bad bounce. I'm going to look after him, only just.
Did you have breakfast this morning? Did you have a coffee, tea?
I did.
No carbs?
I'll tell you what, would you have stopped that, Ed?
You've got to know that it's going to spin away from you. You've got to know that. That's just how it is. When it comes to fielding, it'll always spin in that direction. Get the ball back now. MTN 4. Just at this moment, don't let it bounce again because it will go further. Okay. And that's the rule of fielding. Don't let it bounce the second time.
So we, as coaches and captains and senior players, we want your players to attack the ball. What does attack mean? Is to try to get the ball on the full. And what he did is he allowed that ball to bounce, is what you're saying, Ed, and therefore created an opportunity where he didn't know if there was a different indifference in the bounce of the ball, and it did, and it bounced a little bit more and it got over his hand. So attack the ball.
Still slack?
Still slacking.
Looking to line him up through the leg side. Just picks up 1. The 9th over is done. It's 67 for 1. The current partnership, 55 or 46 balls, good. Need to push on now. 31, 25, and 23 off 20. Contributions. Right, we're getting to the halfway stage. In the air, come on, you've got to pull out the dive. Get off the boundary as quickly as possible. You know that's not going all the way.
Now, Son, yeah, I think he got stuck. He didn't pick it up that well. Maybe just a little bit slack on this occasion. Look, see, he got into a bad position again. He didn't attack the ball, allowed the ball to come to him. What is that? What is that? He tried to get a little bit cheeky. It wasn't a little bit, it was a whole lot cheeky. And Noor Ali Zadran pays the penalty.
Ibrahim Zadran. Spare thought for him. Look at this. He pulls out the dive as well. Batsman, unnecessary. Looking to be clever.
Did he see him coming in? Did you think, yeah, I think he probably should have actually, while he walked down the pitch, good dive, he walked down the pitch and he bowled it outside because he knew he was trying to flick it over the leg side. So he's got to go. They lose their second wicket. Noor Ali Zadran goes for 31. It's 68 for 2.
Sami Shinwari, 27 matches, 545 runs. Decent enough strike rate, best of 82, 450s. Average is good as well.
He got picked up yesterday in the Bangladesh Premier League auction with Rangpur Raiders. Terrific for him. A lot of players got picked up yesterday. Zahir Khan, the youngster left arm leg spinner. Oh, this is really well bowled. Saw him coming, then he bowled it outside on the offside, and he tried a little dink around the corner, lap it around the corner. And I think at that stage, I don't mind doing that stuff in the last 5 overs, but not then at that stage. Now that's just beautiful. That is just class all over. Lovely boundary.
Little tickle, just a gentle one. Just a little one, just so you can feel the ball on the bat. Oh, and it runs off the face and picks up 4. 0 fuss.
Love a tickle. Been a long trip.
I bet you do.
Oh yeah, I love that shot. Saw it, didn't fight it. Just the key was that he watched it onto the bat, played it late. It was really well played. And now it's caused the third man to go back.
This time the third man is back, so only picks up 1. Ryan Burl's back on the field. Good to see.
Amen. I'm so happy to see that. And the reason why is Andy Moles there, the coach. Hello, good morning to you, sir. Yeah, and he's just writing down his little notes or doing Sudoku or crossword. But I was so happy to see Mr. Burl out there. I've had a knee reconstruction, an ankle reconstruction. They take ages to get over. So that'll end it. We're halfway stage. It's 74 for 2.
صبح همتان بخیر. 74 دعوش از تیم مسلمیار اسپین غر تایگرز و 2 بازیکن خود از دست داده، نورعلی و عثمان غنی بازیکنایی بودن که از میدان اخراج شدن. باز هم نبی و بالنگ میه. شما را هم خوش آمدید میگم سایل صاحب.
ډیره مننه. یقینا نن ورځ د سپین غر زمریانو لپاره تر ټولو ډیره مهمه ورځ ده که غواړي په دې سیالیو کې پاتې شي. نننۍ لوبه ګټل ډیره زیاته اړینه خبره ده. سجاد علي ګورو چې نوی لوبغاړی دغه سیالیو ته راوستل شوی دی.
خوب بال، بهترین بال، هیچ اجازه دواش نمیده. واقعیت که با بوست و همچنان با اسپین غاری بسیار مسابقه مهم است. البته مسابقه اگر عینک برنده از این مسابقه میشه، بوست مستقیم در پلی آف میاد. در 4 بهترین شارت مقبول، بال در هواست
او په دې سره ګورو نو درېیمه ویکټه هم د سپین غر له لاسه ووته او نبي ساخیلو چې یقینا یوه ډېره ښکلې ویکټ یې ترلاسه کړه. سجاد علي چې په 30 منډو یې خپله ویکټ له لاسه ورکړه. 30 بالونه یې لوبولو، هغه ریپلی ګورو چې د یو غټ شاټ هڅه کوله خو بال ټاپ ایج لاړ او په دې سره سیبانډا دغه کیچ ترلاسه کړ. نوی بیټسمین به ګورو چې څوک راځي.
سجاد علی 37 داوش کرده، 30 توپ، 74 داوش و 3 بازیکن خود از دست دادن.
بیا هم لا هم ګورو نو د مس عینک لوبډلې ښه توپ اچونه جریان لري او سپین غر زمریان په بیک فوټ دي خو اورونه پاتې دي.
بال در هواست، فیلدر لانگان زیر بال، سکندر رضا و این هم کیچ. ظاهر خان بود که یک بازیکن دیگر هم بهترین بازیکن تیم اسپین غر، کپتان تیم اسپین غر که به شکل حمله‌آور میخواست کرکت کنه، توانست از صحنه خارج بسازیش.
هغه تکرار ګورو، یقینا د چا نه چې ډېره زیاته تمه وه شفیق الله شفاقه هم خپله ویکټ له لاسه ورکړه او ظاهر خان وکړی شول چې یوه ډېره مهمه ویکټ ترلاسه کړي. په یوه منډه دی وسوځېد، 15 لوبغاړي سوځېدلي دي.
باز هم محمد نبی اکانومیش بینین، واقعیت خوب است. خوب بال، بهترین بال. نبی بسیار تجربه داخلی و خارجی داره.
رښتیا هم همداسې ده، خو ضرورت دا ده چې سپین غر لوبغاړي وکړی شي منډې جوړې کړي. که په هر طریق وي نو دوی باید دغه کار وکړي، ځکه محمد نبی هم هغه لوبغاړی دی چې له سمې شینواري او له دې لوبغاړو سره ډېر زیات لوبېدلی دی. که هر رقم وي بیا هم خپلو کې سره ډېر ښه پوهېږي. نو نبی بیا هم او یو ښکلی شاټ او په دې سره یقینا یوه ښکلې او لوړه شپږیزه سمیع الله شینواري وکړی شول چې یوه ښکلې شپږیزه په محمد نبی ووهي.
یقینا که بسیار خوب لاین بال جاج میکنه و فیورت شارت یا بهترین شارت خود انجام میده. لاین بال چقدر خوب گیر میکنه. واقعیت که این هم 136مین 6 داوش از این تورنمنت بود تا حال. 95 داوش هم پوره میشه. فولتاز بال به خاطر 1 داوش.
په کار دی چې لومړی دغه 100 منډې پوره شي، ځکه دوی چې په 80 منډو کې راګیر شوه نو تر 100 پورې یقینا دغه مزل دوی ته ډېر زیات سخت و.
مراد علی هم میخواست که کاپی کنه شارت سمیع الله شینواری را، اما تو باید کمی وقت تیر کنی در کریس، بعد از او کوشش از این شارت ها را کنی. ما شارت هم میبینی که خورد و کم اسکت شد بال. دیور تا حال 8 داوش داده. این هم بول، بهترین بال. بال هم کمی میشینه، میخواست کمی خود وقت بده و طرف دیپ میدوه که شارت انجام بده. تکرارش هم میبینیم اما بال کمی پایین میمانه.
رښتیا هم مراد ونه کړی شو چې خپل ځان ثابت کړي. 96 منډې 6 لوبغاړي سوځېدلي، 15 اوره پای ته ورسېدل.
Projected score, well, if they go great guns and 12 and over, get to 156, but you can't help but think it's going to be between that 128 and 135 at this stage, at best. The problem with the Speen Ghar Tigers, they're losing wickets at regular intervals, 96 for 6 now. And the Ainak Knights well on top. Shenwari, he's the key, 14 of 14. We know he can do some damage. Aftabalam is the new man to the crease. Muhammad Nabi has been the destroyer-in-chief, 3 for 24. His analysis, remember he bowled the first over, went for 9, so what a comeback that is, and taken wickets at critical interviews. Oh, there's the switch hit. And I tell you what, he's going to get 4. If you can't read him, well, do something unorthodox.
If you can't read him, turn around and bat left-handed, Cambo. Unbelievable shot. He's the actual legitimate switch hit. To switch hands as well, turn around, batted left-handed, and just played a genuine reverse sweep, or a sweep that you would have been happy as a left-hander.
Yeah, would have been really happy with the execution. Top stuff. He turned it, he's turned his hands around very quickly, got in a good position, played a good shot. The orthodox sweep on this occasion. I tell you what, he's nearly put his back out. He's tried to hit it that hard.
All he has is the Shenwari. They're going to start calling him the chiropractor. There's a big rotation at the spine.
He was through the shot a bit too early and got a bit of leather in the ribs as well.
Well, you get the feeling that Shenwari is going to go here. He's 18 of 16 balls. This could be a match deciding moment, because if he gets out, there'll be 2 new batsmen under 0, 7 down. Big problems for the Tigers. But if he happens to get hold of a few, well, obviously that'll put them in a good position.
It's tough as well against Zahir Khan. He's such a good bowler. You've got to have your wits about you. That one, the arm ball, but he's got the googly, he's got the regulation leg spinner. Got such good variation, such good skill for a man of his age. Oh, does him again. Length the key here. Even if you're a prodigious spinner of the ball, if you're too full, if you miss your length, those shots are on. But if you're spot on, so far as your length is concerned, bowled the googly there, really good skills.
What he's done well is his length. Whatever variation you bowl is fantastic. You need that variation, but you've got to still hit your length. Oh, switch hit. My word. So he's played the left-hander. He may as well turn around and bat left-handed. He's just turned around left-handed and driven it through the covers.
Yeah, what is he batting right-handed for? Unbelievable stuff. There we go. The orthodox cover drive for a left-hander. Finds the sweeper perfectly. All that risk for 1 run.
Just knocked it out for cover for 1.
Really good stuff. Great skills, great execution. Really good stuff from Zahir Khan. End of the over, 101 for 6. $101 for 6, 4 overs remaining. The key, Sami Shenwari, no doubt about that. Gulbuddin Naib, he's the leading wicket taker in the Shpageeza Cricket League, 10. And he's part of your team, Adam.
Yeah, Gulbuddin, he's like a rock star in my team. He just walks around there, chest out, very proud man, very confident. He's been inspirational in our changing room, and fantastic to see him up there at the top of the wicket-taking table. I'm just more excited about the skill we just saw in the last over. So we saw a left armer running up, bowling a variety of deliveries and hitting his length. Googlies, leg spinners, quicker deliveries, and a batsman playing conventional right-handed shots and then playing a couple of, well, legitimate left-handed strokes. So talent on show here in this league is unbelievable.
And you wouldn't be thinking straight if you're analysing the chances of Afghanistan cricket in the big league when they've got the likes of Rashid Khan and Zahir Khan. Those two are going to be world beaters, no doubt about it. One would argue that Rashid Khan's already there.
Well, I've been really impressed with the talent on show, and I don't think there's any doubt that they're going to be a force at world cricket. They're a little bit green in a couple of areas, but they'll learn that over the next couple of years. They'll pick up on that. That'll improve. having people around like Dean Jones and Alistair Campbell and rubbing shoulders with the likes of them. And I've been seeing a lot of conversations around the hotel corridors. They can't help but pick up experience being around guys like that. It'll only heighten their experience and get them there that bit quicker.
Yeah, as you enter the bigger leagues, everything has to professionalise more. Not only the way the players conduct themselves and play, but also the officiating, the admin, all of the facilities. Everything has to go in line with the way you want to escalate as a test-playing nation. So it'll be very interesting to see in the next couple of years what fixtures they get, how they pan out, insofar as their journey is concerned, to mixing it with the big boys on the international stage.
Well, there's no doubt that their passion and their skill is matching up at the moment. It's those other things, those little things that you said, Cambo.
If you've got a team that's performing, those sort of areas get dragged along, don't they? They have to improve, they have to get better. I've been really impressed with the officiating in this series. All local umpires, I think it's been outstanding. I think they've got a majority of the decisions right. And they will, as they get more experience and as Afghanistan go along, I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, some of them get appointed to the ICC elite panels and get more exposure, traveling the world, umpiring in other leagues, umpiring in other international fixtures.
Well, let's not forget they haven't got the advantage of the review system either, so... Oh! Absolute beauty. It's knocked the stump out of the ground.
The old-fashioned heave-ho over the leg side, very agricultural, and he pays the price. Head up in the air, nowhere near it in the end. Daulat Zadran. Well, he's made another breakthrough. Off double arm is going to go without troubling the scorers. They're in trouble now, 103 for 7. Abdullah Adil is the new batsman for the Speen Ghar Tigers. 103 for 7. He's got it all to do. Probably just needs to try and get bat on ball, get Sami Shinwari on strike, because he's the key. He's got to face as many of the remaining deliveries as possible. 1 for 19 thus far for Daulat Zadran. Just prods it out into the offside.
That wasn't the most confident looking shot, was it, Cambo? He played a very tentative looking shot. Unlike this one, where there was no doubt where he was trying to hit this. He was going for the Shpageeza, but ended up back in the changing room.
Oh, there we go. Gives himself a bit of room and flat bats it away over backward point. There's nothing tentative about that stroke.
Wow, you couldn't have bet on that. The shot before was one of the most tentative shots I've ever seen in my life, followed by one of the most flamboyant. It's a magnificent shot, just carved it away. Almost hit it for 6. You've got to hit a ball well to hit it for 6 over backward point.
Yeah, just gave himself a bit of room, backed away, and came right out the middle of the bat. I don't think he was too focused there, Daulat Zadran. Thought, oh, I just need to run up and bowl and get it in reasonably the right area, and I'll be able to get another wicket. Well, he's got to wake up now. He's got to be spot on, got to keep concentrating. 5 off the over, 6 off the over so far, I should say. Wicket as well, 1 ball remaining. He's either got to hit a 2 or 4 here, you have to think, or maybe a dot ball, that's fine. But Shinwari needs to have strike the next over. I wonder if that's going through his mind. Oh, there we go, gives himself room again. Follows him this time, Zadran. 17 bowled, 3 remaining, 107 for 7. Right, so that's how the wickets fell. They were looking good. 68 for 1 they would have been, and then 74 for 3, 83, 87, 96, 103. Just nothing from the middle order today. And that's been their Achilles heel, the Speen Ghar Tigers. They haven't been able to capitalize on what was a very good start. And they've fallen away in the middle overs. And they're struggling now, 107 for 7. They've got to try and make the most of these last 3 overs. And if Shenwari can find the boundaries a couple of times and maybe get to 130, 135 at least, they'll have something to bowl at. Naveen ul Haq opened the bowling, bowled his 2 overs. He's going to be back now, probably to bowl this, the 17th and the 19th as well. 1 for 16 thus far, getting the big wicket of Usman Ghani this morning. Dangerous Usman Ghani, leading run scorer in the tournament. And the youngster, well, knocked over his castle.
Well, what do you do if you're Shenwari here, Cambo? I mean, obviously you've got to go for it, but if you get out, you literally, they're going to struggle to get 120, aren't they? So, I mean, he's got to go for it, but he's got to have in the back of his mind that he can't really afford to get out because they won't post any total at all.
Decisions, the pressures. 20 of 21, be interesting to see how he goes. Oh, great change of pace, really, really good stuff from Naveen ul Haq. To have such skill at such an early age, he really is a talent. Under 19 cricketer. He'll be playing in the World Cup later on this year in Australia. Next year, I should say, early next year. Have a look at that. The slower ball bouncer totally deceived Shenwari.
Yeah, I think he was in about 5 different minds there. He didn't know what to play. Pull, hook, cut, ramp shot. Spoiled for choice there. Ended up doing nothing. Went through for a dot ball.
He's the current under-19 captain, Naveen ul Haq. So he'll have the responsibility of giving his nation a good showing at that under-19 World Cup in Australia. And what we've seen here, and what talent is on display, young talent that is, they should be fielding a very, very good under-19 side, Afghanistan, and they should do really well in the tournament. Lovely setting here in Kabul, surrounded by the mountains. And at the moment, the Speen Ghar Tigers have got a mountain to climb. There we go, there's the tennis shot. Another attempted bouncer from Naveen ul Haq. And on this occasion, he's able to get, well, I think it's an inside edge, get it past the keeper and down to fine leg for 4.
Well, there's never any fielders back there, mate. That's the place to hit him. Well, I think he's hit off the middle in the end. The face of the bat was almost facing towards the sky. I can't say that was deliberate. If it was genius. But he's got it over the top of the keeper, and there's never any fielders behind there. Always 4 runs behind there.
A good shot from the tail end, Abdullah Adil. What's he going to do now? Yeah, gives himself room. Wow. Gets it past, but off another boundary. He's playing an absolute gem here. Abdullah Adil, just the 5 balls he's faced. He's on 12.
Well, I can't help but think that they've missed a trick here. They're trying to go block hole. I don't really feel that they need to do that at the moment. This guy's probably not looking like the most experienced player, and by getting it up there, if you miss your length with the mid-off up, you're going to get punished, and he's getting punished hard there.
Long live Afghanistan, perched above us on the hilltops. There's a slower one, up in the air. Oh, he doesn't get it. Good catch, good composed catch on the boundary. He very nearly hit another maximum, did Abdullah Adil, but his little cameo is going to have to come to the end. 12 or 5 deliveries, slower ball. Tried to smear it away on the leg side and only succeeded in finding the fielder out there. No mistake made. They get their 8th wicket, do the Mr. Ainak Knights, and Abdullah Adil is going to have to make the long walk back to the pavilion. He had a couple of good boundaries and very nearly succeeded in getting it over the ropes again, but it's not to be today. Naveen ul Haq will get his 2nd wicket, and Adil will have to go for 12. 116 for 8. Decent over, the 18th. 11 from it, courtesy of some boundaries from a deal. But he's gone now, and they're 8 down, but at least Shinwari's on strike.
Did you see that that graphic there? The wickets at regular intervals that have been coming over the last 7 or 8 overs. That's been the feature of this night's fight back, really. That's what's put the pressure on. Tigers have never really got going because of the regular loss of wickets.
Really good change of pace from Dawlad Zadran out the back of the hand. Really good skills. Bilal Khan is the new man to the crease for the Speen Ghar Tigers. Shinwari, 22 of 25. Goes at it, down to mid-on. There is protection out there. Nice bounce into the mitts for Vusi Sabanda. He makes no mistake, gets it in, and that means that he won't be able to get back for 2 and will lose the strike. Bilal Khan is here because of this.
Well, he hit it well, hadn't he? He hit it well and unlucky to find the fielder there. I mean, probably not the most technically correct batsman in this tournament, and he'd had a go and he'd got hold of a couple. He's just unfortunate there to find the fielder.
Right, so he's going to do some work with the ball, but at the moment, in his last 11 balls, he's got to try and hang around, maybe find the boundary a couple of times, and provide some support for Sami Shinwari. Needs a 1, needs to get off strike. No, the only thing that's going to get off strike is his off stump. It's gone cartwheeling back towards the wicketkeeper, and Bilal Khan looks around at the carnage and has to begin the long walk back to the pavilion. A lovely sight for any fast bowler.
Well, the stump was like a Russian gymnast, wasn't it? Look at it go here. Cartwheeling across.
So he's gone for none, just the 1 delivery for Bilal Khan, 118 for 9 now. Well, it's all going a bit pear-shaped. They're in danger. The Speen Ghar Tigers of actually not completing their 20 overs. And remember, at the 10th over, they're only 1 wicket down. Well, these are all the wickets thus far. That was the first one, Usman Ghani. And then, trying to paddle one around the corner. Good catch by Ibrahim Zadran. That went a country mile from Syed, and made no mistake that Vusi Sabanda out in the deep. Alton Chingabura trying to hit Muhammad Nabi out of the attack, and Zahir Khan weaving his magic. Good catch by Sikandar Azhar in the deep. Another wicket by Muhammad Nabi, and then Dawlad Zadran coming into the attack. Naveen ul Haq taking his last wicket as well. So they've been really impressive, have the Knights, in this last 10 overs. There we go, it'll just be the 1. And that means Shinwari can finally get the strike back and try and do some damage. He's just got to go for it now, doesn't he?
Well, he has to, because at the other end, Barakzai, he could get at it any time. So you really, he has to go for it. But what do you do now if you hit a single? Do you run? Or do you stay on strike and try and hit some 4s and 6s? It's always about decisions here, making the right decisions. And as these Afghanistan players play more and more, they'll start making more and more better decisions.
2 balls left in this penultimate over. Shinwari on strike. Slower ball, and quite rightly declines the single. And that means that off the last delivery, that's what he'll do. He won't try and hit it for 4. He'll just try and nudge it in a gap somewhere. So he's got the last over to face and trying to take full toll and try and get as many boundaries as he can in that last over.
Yeah, I'm different there. I think I'd still be trying to hit this for 4 or 6. And then obviously if you don't get hold of it, you get a single and you get on strike. It's hard, isn't it? We're old school though, Cambo. We try and take the runs on offer and don't think too far ahead. You know, run in the banks, you know, better than something that might not happen. You take what's ahead of you, I believe.
It looks like he's happy to concede the boundary. Here's Muhammad Nabi. He's bringing all men on the leg side up into the circle, so 5 in the circle. And he's saying, doesn't worry me, hit the boundary. We want to bowl to Barakzai in the last over. Mid-off coming up as well, so a bit of cat and mouse going on. He's inviting Shinwari to hit the boundary. He's saying, I don't mind conceding 4 as long as you don't have strike in the last over. Very good captaincy from Mohamed Nabi. He places it in the gap. So they'll get the single. Shinwari will take strike for the last over. 120 for 9. Just a reminder, Mohamed Nabi winning the toss this morning for the Knights, electing to bowl first and totally vindicated at this stage. It didn't look so early on. They were going along quite nicely with the Speen Ghar Tigers, but they've fallen away at the back end of this innings. Gulbuddin Naib, 10 wickets. He's the leading wicket taker in the Shpageeza Cricket League for 2017. And Dalvat Zadran with that last one just ties him at the top of the table. Usman Ghani, he was dismissed early this morning, but he's still the leading run scorer at 166. Cameron Delport, he's no longer here, 163, courtesy of a big 100 that he got in the second game. Ashkar Stanaksai up there, 154. Noor Ali Zadran, 152 for the Tigers. Right, here we go, last over. It's up in the air, he's not able to get it away. Naveen ul Haq, that slower ball bouncer is proving very, very difficult to score off.
Well, it is, he's executed it well, but it's a difficult one here for the batsman. What do you do? I mean, old school would tell you that you take every run on offer. I mean, I think in this situation he's making the right decision and probably trying to stay there to try and hit some boundaries.
There we go, goes again. There is a man out there and still not able to pierce the gap and still refuses the single.
Well, the risk you take here is that you don't hit any boundaries and you end up hitting the whole over and getting none. So it's a tough one. And I think you've just got to go with what you feel out there, really. I don't think there's a right or a wrong. Sometimes you just got to trust your instinct. If you can get hold of a couple, it'll be vindicated.
Swing and a miss, and through the keeper. That's not great keeping. Really not. You've got to do better than that, surely. Can't be giving away easy runs. 4 byes is the signal.
Close your legs, son. Hit your legs together.
Yeah, you're taught that right at an early age. Wicket keeping 101. Get down in the long barrier position and get your body behind it. Not good technique.
He got his legs together, just unfortunately a fraction too late.
Oh, there we go. Tries the reverse swing. He's trying everything, Sami Shinwari, and he's not able to actually make the requisite contact. Can't fault him for enterprise, but execution, maybe not so good.
It's a difficult shot, isn't it? You're reverse sweeping a guy's probably bowling, what, 125, 130 kilometres an hour, trying to reverse sweep him. Might be easier options, I think.
Another slow ball bouncer, another dot ball taker, Bao Naveen ul Haq. Outstanding bowling in this last over.
Well, he's chance of bowling a maiden here in the last. Has that ever happened in a T20 game? Maiden in the last over of the innings?
Good question. Don't think so. Surely not.
I'm sure our production team will be rushing around trying to find that information out for us.
Last ball out of the park. He signals like Babe Ruth and walks to the pavilion right in the slot. Doesn't get it right off the last delivery, and it means that the Speen Ghar Tigers will end with an Azizi 6. It was a huge blow. Right out of the ground, over, long on. Terrific stuff from Shinwari. He struggled for the over, and then there he goes. Points to the rafters as the great Babe Ruth would have done, and walks back to the pavilion. But I tell you what, the Mr. Ainak Knights won't be too displeased with their performance. That's exactly what they would have taken, I reckon, at the beginning of play. If you would have said, when the toss, bowl first, restrict the opposition to 130 for 9, you're taking that any day of the week.
Well, the bowlers have done their job at the Knights. They will now be pointing at the batsmen saying, over to you, let's get us across this total and get ourselves a position in that last 4.
Welcome back to the Kabul International Cricket Stadium. It's the Alakazay Kola Shpageeza Cricket League 2017, and it's the Tigers versus the Knights. The Tigers had a laboured innings to 130. There's excellent work as well by the Knights in their bowling effort. It is now about getting these 130 runs for the Knights. And the man that will have to do that is Vusi Sibanda. He'll open the batting. He'll take first ball. 5 matches, 148 runs. Decent enough average. The strike rate, you'd expect it to be a little bit higher than that. 125, 130, 150 so far in this tournament. Has missed out in the last couple of games, but this man hasn't, as I introduce Dean Jones.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, Ishanula, 115 runs already in this tournament. Strike rate 117. He can go, this boy. I'm so impressed with his 50 in the last game. He really did play very, very well. Rockhart, he's done well as well. Hasn't been too bad. A couple of drop catches here and there. But Aftad Alam, 8 wickets, and Bilal Khan, 6 wickets. Button Shah, 4 wickets. They'll be the major players. So, not a huge total to chase. 131. Here we go.
On the money straight away. Left arm spin. Get us underway. It'll just take good cricket to get this 130 runs. Down the leg side. Probably missed out. It looked like a bit of an arm ball. He's got a bit of a round arm action. He just wants to bowl at the stumps. But generally, not a lot will turn.
I don't understand why right-hand batsmen bat 1 foot outside leg stump and trying to smash them down the ground. I really don't. Like there, that's in the slot. Absolutely right in the slot.
Does this tell you his mindset, Dino? That's a half volley. Looking to defend. We'll pick up one now.
Gee, Isanula was coasting along there. Looked like he was a bit stiff and sore, and a direct hit might have been out there. He was dawdling along. I don't know what he was doing. Very, very close. But anyway, he's in some good form. I was really impressed with his last look. Have a look at this. Jog, 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 jog. And, oh, I tell you what, direct hit would have been out. Thought it was close. He was coasting along thinking, oh, I'll make that easy. But he couldn't get from second gear to third.
Gone inside the inside half of the bat. Between bat and pad. How close was this? Oh my goodness. Inches from crashing into off stump. What an excellent over. Just one off it. It's one without loss. Beautiful day in Kabul, and the people of Afghanistan have come out to support the Shpageeza Cricket League 2017, and it's been a good turnout on most days. Today is Sunday, a work day.
Yep, and Speen Ghar Tigers, I believe, have won it twice this competition. And they are right up against it. They've got to try to bowl them out here and restrict them for less than 130. So Bilal Khan comes on, got 6 wickets in this tournament already, bowled okay. The biggest problem, Eddie, is the fact that their bowlers have been, well, it's been releasing too many runs. They average 172, the opposition batsmen against them. What a beautiful shot, just save your legs. That terminology came from Tom Moody when I batted with him many, many years ago. If you hit a good one in the middle, don't bother running. Save your legs.
Supporters of the Knights That's a good shot by Fusi Sibana. What's important there is just the point of contact. He's just able to just open the face of the bat and manipulate the ball.
Soluriza. That's a 4. Shpageeza, a 6. Chance now, direct hit, trouble. Trouble, trouble, trouble.
It's the captain. Shafiq at mid-off, gets to the ball quickly, doesn't have the gloves today. Sibanda, he looks for one. Oh, I think it would have been very close if it was a direct hit, but made his ground comfortably. There he is, the captain, not having the gloves today in the field. I actually saw him at warm-up having a few balls, a little bit of off-spin.
Tim Zura, the wicketkeeper for Australia, used to bowl leg spin, wicket keep and bat. And there was a match against Holland. We were in trouble on the mats in 1989, believe it or not. And he took 5 wickets in his 10-over spell for us to win by 3 runs. Andy Moles there, very fine cricketer in his own right from Warwickshire.
I've also seen MS Dhoni take the gloves off and have a bowl. Tatenda Taibu's also done it a few times. A bit of an appeal, but it's really high. Just closing the face there. Sometimes you'll have a bit of an inside edge because of the ball's not really coming onto the bat. Just here. Just there. Just got to be a bit careful.
Yeah. Another interesting wicket keeper, that Ian Healy from Australia, the wicket keeper. He was the worst bowler I've ever seen bowl. He bowled filth. Honestly, he couldn't bowl. He just couldn't. He's absolutely uncoordinated. Oh, now take the catch. He's dropped it. The skipper. He's a keeper, isn't he? Should have taken it.
Yeah, this is a difficult one. It's all happening in the power play. In the air. Times the jump perfectly, but it just doesn't stick. It's almost as if he's closed his hands on the when the ball makes impact. Yes, the keeper would expect him to catch that.
Good call, Ed. And it just goes to show that mid-off is in the subcontinent in T20 matches is such an important position, isn't it? The ball always comes to you. In Australia, it's more behind point, but geez, that mid-off is important.
Ishanula, I think he's ticking here. He's ticking. A second over, gone to 6 without loss. Again, a majestic day in Kabul. Weather seems to have cleared, but just around 2:30 is when it starts coming in. Barakazai. Just the 1 run off his first over. It's match number 13. The target's 131. This game has so many implications.
Yeah, if the Knights win, well, that will help a lot of teams, particularly for our good friend and co-commentator Adam Holyoke, because Boost will get through. But if the Speen Ghar Tigers win, it's sayonara for the Ammo Sharks and the Boost defenders. So everything is on this match. Everyone's watching it. Barakazai. Just a few chats between batsman and keeper. Everything's in readiness.
Is it about seeing off the left arm spin in the power play? I believe that's a half volley. You get right to the pitch of that, you can hit that through the offside. Picks up one now.
You can tell from his run-up, I reckon. I look for little things that actually tell, little triggers. And when he runs in a bit quicker, I reckon it's his fast ball. When he dawdles in, it's just his normal ball.
Right, let's watch him.
Okay.
Go on, Eagle Eye.
Let's see here. He's bowling at close to an 85 to 90 clip, though, but...
What's the
Slow ball. Over the top. See, it was always going to go over the top.
Bang! 4. Ultra Edge / Eagle Eyes / Snickos / Dean Jones, the Professor. That goes for 4.
Speen 4. There it is here. You just look for little triggers, little moments here. What will happen here? Fast ball, doesn't get it.
I think that's a double bluff by you, Dino. I think after getting hit down the ground, it's always going to be the arm ball to follow.
No, you can just tell with guys' arm actions as well. Sabanda. He's had a pretty good tournament up to now. Nice shot down the ground in the middle. So what they're doing here, they're backing away a little bit so they can free their arms up to the left-handers. Not much spin at all.
Eight off it. 7 off it. I don't know where the other one came from.
I'll give you one.
Oh, Dino. Settle, son. Down the wicket. Confirmation, that is the big 7 off the over. It's 13 without loss.
That's up in the air. There's 2 men converging on it. It'll be 6. Just for a minute, I thought the man coming across from mid-off would have a chance. But it's just evaded him and just got over the boundary for maximum.
Shpageeza.
That's when I thought he had just a slim chance. But he gave up the ghost. And it's just got over the boundary rope. That doesn't matter. 6 is 6. 39 for none now. Not out the middle of the bat, trying to hit it over mid-on and gets the desired result. It's not a great delivery. Change of pace. Not really well disguised. And he's put that away with disdain.
Well, that's good batting, isn't it? He's the one that's pitched up. He's hit back over the bowler's head. The bowler's adjusted his length, dragged his length back, and he's just sat back and crashed that. Look at the way he held that. He held that picture there, that position, like he was being photographed. That'll be on a poster, that shot.
Well, now, the Knights supporter, the Knights' favourite supporter, there we go. And they're looking pretty good now.
Well, they're looking better than I am in that shirt. I've just seen a side profile of myself. Not so good.
Not a great comeback, not a great over this. We said at the beginning of the over, 29 for naught. They needed a wicket, needed to get back in the game, but the first 3 deliveries have been pretty woeful. The first one, not his fault, the keeper's fault. Went for 4 byes, next one for 6, next one for 4, and then wide. So in the blink of an eye, the Knights, the Wazirizai Knights, have a look at that. They look that they're in the pound seats at the moment. And the boost defenders, the coach here, Adam Hollyoak, well, he might be into the playoffs.
Inshallah.
That's over the top. That'll be another boundary, I reckon. Another change of pace, just evading the man at cover. But he had enough elevation on it this time, did Isanula. And this over is huge.
Yeah, well, he's doing a lot of favours here for the boost defenders. Remember, if the Knights get up and win here, that sends the boost defenders into the semi-final. But they've got off to a flying start. Just what you want to do when you're chasing a low total. Those totals can be quite tricky to chase, can't they, Cambo? And getting off to a good start is so crucial.
Oh, he's placed that beautifully. Another boundary. It's all going pear-shaped here for Abdullah Rashid. And for the Speen Ghar Tigers, 50 up with that deflection. too wide. All he did was open the face, third man up in the circle. He had to place it well, did just that, and raced away over the side field for 4. Good skill, good execution.
How good's this wicket looking at the moment? It's just dried out. You feel like the moisture's gone out of it this morning, and it just looks like it's playing very well. Batsman set, confident, chasing a low total. Difficult time to be bowling.
22 off the over thus far. Oh, dot ball brings some sanity to proceedings. They're going along swimmingly. 52 for none, the Knights. This is the highest score in the power play overs for the Mr. Ainak Knights. 52 for none. Previous best was 50 for 2. That was against the Eagles, and then, well, in the 30s really, in the previous games. And they're only chasing 130. They're not chasing 170, 180. They're chasing a meager 131. 52 for none after 6. Couldn't have written the script any better.
Well, if you're going to get a start, when you're chasing the low total, 52 after 6 overs, it's just almost perfect. 2 batsmen in, both looking confident, wicket playing well. They're going to have to really play poorly to lose it from here, I'd say.
Vusi Sabanda on strike, Sajjad into the attack. A bit ungainly, too full, and steered away through the offside. They'll canter through for 2. Looks very ungainly, very unorthodox approach to the crease, and served up a nice juicy half volley first up.
Well, that's not the most fluent and rhythmical run-up I've ever seen. I thought he'd actually lost his run-up about 4 times throughout the last delivery.
Well, there we go, a little change of pace, an even slower ball. Oh, I tell you what, don't ever run on the misfield. You teach that to youngsters every day of the week, and there, Vusi Sabanda nearly made the cardinal sin. He nearly called his partner through, but sanity prevailed at the last possible moment, and he said no. Just looks like he's going to stop as he approaches the crease. Sajjad. Very, very unorthodox. It must be a bit of putting at the bat as the batsman. You think when you're down on your stance, maybe you tend to pull up because you think the bowler's stopping. Now then, this is very unorthodox. Adam Holyoake, what do you make of it?
Well, he looks like a man who's lost more than his run-up on the way in. He looks like he's, well, biomechanically challenged would be the way I'd describe that.
Very, very weird. Not a lot of pace either. Surely the keeper's got to be up here. If I'm batting, I'm a metre, 2 metres out of my crease. I really am.
Of course, there's been a lot of great bowlers around the world who haven't had the textbook bowling actions. His run-up is quite curious, would be the word I'd use to describe it, Cambo.
Oh, there we go, he's done him. A little slower ball there, right smile from Sajjad. Vusi Sabanda, he can also produce the right smile. He's been done.
Smiles all round here. Well, whatever his run-ups is and his action is, he's getting the ball in the right area and he's mixing his pace up, which is fundamentally what matters.
He's got his third man back there. I don't know why quite they've taken this long to get him up in the circle and get someone else back on the leg side at this pace. Keeper, surely you've got to come up to the stumps. Vusi Sabanda, you've got to be running at him. Get out of your crease, son. Not quite to the pitch, but there is protection out the offside. Thinks of 2. But Isanula firmly puts the palm towards Vusi Sabanda. So 7 bowled, 57 for none. That's how it stands. The Eagles on top, the Knights second. They win here. They go to 8 points and they for a period of time anyway, will be top of the table, and the Boost defenders will stay in that 4th spot, and the Tigers and Ammo Sharks will be going home. And, well, the way this game is stacking up, the way it stands at the moment, Boost defenders highly likely to qualify. Speen Ghar Tigers look like they might be going home, but you never know. Cricket's a funny game, Adam Hollyoak.
Well, both you and I have played enough to know that anything can happen in these games. They can turn like that, can't they? Can absolutely change around so quickly. A couple of quick wickets, 2 new batsmen in on 0, build some pressure. We've seen it happen so many times in this T20 cricket. So let's not count our chickens just yet.
Sajjad continues this time. He's had enough. Isanullah brings out the long handle, tries to smear him down the ground, doesn't make good contact. Bottom of the bat.
Yeah, this is where their experience may come in the years to come, because the Knights, they don't really need to be playing shots like that, do they? They just, at the moment, it's just a regulation run chase. They chase, 6 and over, 10 wickets in hand. You don't need to be playing shots like that. Just knock it around, make sure you get the victory, make sure you get the Boost defenders through to the semi-final.
Indeed, that's the most important thing, of course.
Of course, Cambo.
Oh, there we go. There we go. There's a bit of deception. Franklin Stevenson used to do that, but probably at 34 or 30 or 40 mile an hour quicker.
That was an absolute beauty, wasn't it? How well did he deceive him? I think what he's done there is bowled a slower ball out the back of the hand, and it's obviously the batsman think it's a beamer, and it's dropped down and totally legal delivery. Well bowled, sir. Well, we've been analysing Sajjad's action and sort of having a little smile at how unorthodox it is, but isn't he bowling well?
Vusi Sabanda gets it up in the air. He's holed out. What a catch! What a catch! He was frustrating him. You could see that, Sajjad. And Vusi Sabanda, well, he's capitulated under the pressure.
Yeah, that's a poor shot, really. I mean, at that stage, you just need to knock it around, make sure you get your team home at the end. But he's been tied down for a couple of deliveries and then basically cracked under the pressure, and now given the opportunity to the Tigers to try and get themselves back into this game. Not a great piece of cricket.
So they've, well, shown us how poor they can be, the Knights, and then take us to the heights of how good they can be.
From the basement to the penthouse. Well, they've got a little bit of an opportunity, haven't they? I mean, you talk about getting 2 wickets, and look, we've got 2 new batsmen here. We face 4 balls between them. So there's an opportunity now. I'd really like to see these fielders tied in the 1, try and create some dot balls and build some pressure.
Oh, it's nearly done him. It hasn't bounced at all. And he's managed to jam down on it at the last minute, Ryan Ball. Good to see him out there. He went off the field just nursing a knee injury. Good to see him out there batting. There we go. At the last minute, manages just to get the toe end on it. Can't find the gap, can't get a single. It'll all start to build up. 10 overs bowled, halfway through now.
Fellow commentators talking about repercussions of this particular game. Eagles and the Knights, comfortable. But if the Knights win here, they really push the Speen Ghar Tigers out of the competition and push the defenders into the playoffs.
They'll finish on the top 2, and of course finishing the top 2 you get a double chance, but it just goes to show you the Tigers net run rate -1, and if they lose here it'll go even higher than that, and that will be the reason why it will keep them out of the top 4 for the playoffs of the Shpageeza Cricket League. Full toss down the ground, yum yum bubble gum.
muscled by Ryan Burl down the ground. The captain's looking to attack, so mid-off and mid-on up in the circle. Empty end four, full toss, and you have to put it away. Nearly takes out his partner.
So, welcome boundary early. So, fantastic crowd in. Geez, they love their cricket here. Oh, the Knights, look at them all, got the jerseys on. Starting to get the shirts out here in the marketplaces. Popular sport here now in Afghanistan. The #1 sport, cricket. Who would have thought that 10 years ago? After getting a little bit of treatment early. Pulls it away. And inside air, it's just a bit too quick. He's just about thrown the toys out of the cot after Alam. He's not a happy camper.
Well, the Tigers really haven't helped themselves with the drop catches, missed fields. Some balls going through the legs. Trying to defend the boundary. It goes into the boundary at this stage. 8 off it. What will a boundary do here as well as we go past the halfway stage?
The owner's there and the assistant coaches. Ray is there, the under-19 coach. Terrific man. Love him. Under-19s are in good hands with him, I can assure you. End of the over. 11 overs gone. 78 for 2. Is this just a magnificent day's weather here in Kabul? Top temperature of 30 degrees. It is just glorious. Just a little zephyr of wind coming from the mountains here through the valleys. Knows the call. Got lucky.
At 78 for 2. Just indecision. Poor shot selection can really cause a lot of problems in this middle order for the Knights.
Good batting, finds a hole.
I just feel they're being a bit tentative, the Knights. They're just in a situation right now where maybe a bad decision can affect them quite a bit.
Back-to-back wickets. Back-to-back wickets here will just about shut it down. I tell you, they'll get back into this game here. Oh, bad fielding. He should be able to stop that. Oh, he's asking, he's pleading. Reverse sweep. See, it really is a doddle. It looks a doddle, 51 from 51. But the bottom line is, they need to get wickets.
That's what I'm talking about with the Knights. Just looking for that odd shot that isn't quite there.
Placement. They might get 2 here. Oh, a bit of a bobble. No, well fielded. Yeah, surely they can't just know how many runs and how many balls are left. They should be doing that. This modern-day player. The good old days, it was used to be done for us on the scoreboard. A bit harder here. Backs it away, pulls it down there for 1. So that'll end the over. It's 83 for 2. As you can see there, when the happy hour starts and the last 10, a lot of wickets start to happen. Both teams very similar in a lot of ways there, isn't it? But it's been typical here. Have they got the depth in bowling under pressure, the Tigers? There, the chairman sitting with the crowd, good on him. He's done a great job right throughout this whole tournament as well. Shafiq, of course, the CEO, and all the admin here of the Afghanistan Cricket Board, done a great job. They really have, considering what we had to go through. And we've got some great cricket to come. We've got the finals coming up, the playoffs. We call them finals in Australia, this part of the world. We call them playoffs or eliminators.
Not sure what is holding up play here, but if it's got nothing to do with the side screen and no one's injured, I think it's important that you keep the continuity of the game going, because there is a stall in play here, and momentum can be lost and it can be shifted just by slowing down the game. So is there some gamesmanship going on at the moment? Umpires need to be aware of this.
He's trying to get this ball the reverse swing here. Aftab Alam. It's not quite old enough yet. It's only 12 overs old. It might reverse by the 16th, 17th. Got to stop them as if your life depended on it. And that time he didn't.
Yeah, you got to stop this. It isn't hit very hard. It isn't hit with any ferocity at all. Get the body behind it. Don't fumble it. And he's one of the bowlers who's actually having a go at some of the fielders at some stage and bowled a no ball. Two of them, in fact.
Yeah, that was the culprit was Shahzad Ali there. Just didn't get the timing of the dive right. Mind you, it's a bit hard, the ground now. Yorker, good batting, looking for two. Oh, just stopped there, got himself in an awful position.
Look, it's a runner ball. Don't have to get the heart rate too high, just play simple cricket.
Just look at there, Chisoro just got himself an awful position there, front and square. Anything could have happened there. Now he's trying to take the pace off a little bit here for Burl around the wicket here. So they're just trying to create a bit of pressure here. Right, so I'm just thinking now with this, he's putting 5 in the circle now. Now this is good attacking cricket. Trying to stop the one. Making Burl play a big shot here. Oh, well bowled. Very well bowled. He's an aggressive character. Have a look at the body language. He's such a competitive guy.
He just needs to get through his overs a bit quicker. Just stopping at the top of the mark. Another conversation happens between captain and bowler. Ryan Burl, you'd want to see his team across the line. He hasn't really had an opportunity to add any value up to this point. Maybe this is the game where you can get a little 40 or 50 not out.
Oh, and he's looking for one now. Direct here. Chisora got an awful position. He just took forever and they come back for 2, and Aftab Alam won't be happy with that. He waited for the ball to come, and he got what we call front and square. He couldn't get side on, and that's the reason why he took forever to get rid of it.
The overthrows. What is mid-wicket doing? Not backing up at all. Bowler didn't even try and stop the ball. So freebies being offered now.
So exactly what you see, there's only a few dot balls amongst them. They're just getting the 2s and 4s and 1s whenever they can. He could easily sit up here in the booth, the chairman, but he wants to sit down with the fans. Good on him. Pulls it away. They might get 2 here if they run the first one hard. No, they don't. Good fielding there by the Tigers. So a good piece of it. Very good piece of fielding. Stayed low, watched the ball into his hands. What can Aftab Alam do here? Nasser Jamal on strike. Already got well over 120 runs in this tournament. A lovely cover drive, and they'll get one. That'll conclude the over. It's 89 for 2, Ed. The chairman there with all the fans, the Knights fans, they won't be happy with that dismissal. I tell you, the silence is deafening in that part of the stadium. Sakandar Raza on 24 strike rate gets a chance here to finish this game off. No 50s yet in this particular Shpageeza Cricket League. Now here it is here. Just, this is, I'd walk on this. If an Australian batsman would walk on that, Ed, that's just plum. Don't get any plumber than that. So, he's an interesting bowler, Shahzad.
Have a closer look at his action. Here he comes. Looks pretty simple up to that point. Conceals the ball. But here's where he really makes it difficult for the batsman. Awkward. You think it'll come quicker than that. Looks like he's bowling with a lot more shoulder and body. But it just doesn't quite get to you.
Oh, yeah. You bowl like that to me. What a shot. Spagheeza.
It came, it went, and it hit the stands. Half a dozen. The 139th. Boom!
Shake, shake the room. Way up there. Beautiful hit. Look, good technique there. He used his core to get through the bat. He just knows it's gone. So now there's a bit of pressure put back on Shahzad, who runs in, and when he runs in, it just reminds me of a giraffe just being born and its first few steps. Is that a fair comparison?
No, Dino, it is not.
Look at it. Oh, just a, you know, no run there. He mixes it up. He bowls a lot of what we call licorice all sorts. He bowls a little change-up delivery. That's how he got his LBW. Bowls a quicker ball there like he did there, but he runs in and looks like he's about to stall and stop and fall over, and then somehow manages to get his balance and bowls the ball. It's a bizarre run-up and action. It's all over the shop. There's the change-up delivery, quick single on the leg side.
A wicket, 6 and a single. It's an over where you started really well and then you sort of give it away at halfway stage. A ball to go, can he finish it off even better? Maybe another wicket or a dot ball. Captain be happy to get another wicket here. But how will he go about it? You talk about him bowling licorice all sorts. Can he bowl a gem?
Well, if I was Burl, I'll be charging him. Nice clippage, no run. There's your dot ball. Ed's end of the over, a wicket off it. It's 96 for 3. Boom, boom, shake the room. Well, one over there, upwards of over 23, 24 runs off one over, and all the others have been quite... So they're just pacing themselves nicely, and a couple of wickets have fallen. So they don't like to lose back-to-back wickets here. So now we're getting to the business end. Now, this is why you pay big money for players to finish off a game. So Kandaraza comes in, already off to a flyer. And Abdullah Adil, he hasn't had a good Shpageeza league already. 1 over and he's gone for 19.
Target him. Put pressure on him. He's already gone for 19 in his first over. Less than run a ball now. This could be the over that really seals it for the Knights and the post defenders. But this is an over, definitely. If you're watching the game and you're watching how everybody's going about their work, this is a man you can put away.
Well, that's a good Yorker. It's a fair start. So there it is there, 34 from 35 balls. Now, it looks a doddle, and well bowled here. And it is a doddle, but if you get 2 quick wickets, the bowlers have got to have the mentality, all right, where can I get a wicket? Don't worry about dotting them up and all that. You've got to try to think, how am I going to get this guy out? It's the only way they're going to win this match. Get right down into the tail. Another run. You'll get through. You would have made it, I thought, in that occasion.
That's good for the batters, because I think some of the fielders are expecting boundaries, or the bowlers trying to defend a boundary, and then you have good running between the wickets. Straight away, good understanding. Makes it comfortably. Even a direct hit would have seen him make his ground.
Well, After now, well fielded. The way he got to the ball then, he wanted it, number one. Number two, he got into a good position to throw the ball. He's an athlete. Look at the way he wanted it. Tell you what, very, very competitive player.
Sakindaraza, 8 of 6. Long on has gone back, and now another scoring opportunity for one, or maybe through the offside.
Backs away, gets it through the covers. Well, I don't know why. There just seems to be a bit of panic. I feel it. I don't know why with this Wazazai Miss Ainak Knights. Taking really silly risks, I reckon, at times.
Yeah, we saw it when we first came on. Just jittery stuff. You only needed a run a ball. You can dawdle it. Just easy, basic cricket. Hit the targets. Hit the men on the boundary. Force the bowler to come at you.
That'll be a wide. Try to do a change up there, Abdullah Adil.
See, the mentality of the bowler there is that he hasn't gone for a boundary in the over, so he's thinking that the batsman is loading up for a boundary. And then he goes to a defensive ball. No pace on it, he overcompensates, and you get an extra run and an extra ball to score off. And that's what the Knights need to be aware of. It's not about really putting the foot down on the accelerator when you don't need to. Wait for the bowler to make a mistake.
Over the extra cover, they'll get at least 2. Aftab's after it, picks it up. Oh, he is an athlete. He's a very good. Bounces it in. Yep, very good piece of fielding. Gee, a lot of extras already. 10, Ed. Look at the way he gets to this, and look how he releases it. See, head goes towards the target. Good technique. Good outfielding. So this is a knock you feel that Bell needed. He hasn't played well at all right throughout this series, but you get a couple of good little knocks, or a good knock just before the playoffs, or the eliminators, that helps you big time. He just needs 1-4 though, just to get him going. Change up, quick single, they make it easy. So that ends the over. 15 overs gone. 103 for 3.
3. Raza 9, Burl 19, 28 of 30. You'd have to say that they should do it easy, the Mr. Ainak Knights, but you never know. A couple of wickets, a good over, suddenly the rate goes to 7, 8 to the over, scramble, run out, all things still possible. Oh, I tell you what, he's hit the stumps. There was absolutely no need to throw it. They'd cruised through for the run, more out of frustration than anything else, and gets the ricochet.
Well, they need a hero, don't they, the Tigers? They're just going along there. If they keep the field out, then the Knights just cruise along and win this game. And what's going on here? They're complaining again. They really haven't been very focused today. They seem to be gesticulating with the umpire and complaining, and sometimes you've just got to focus on your own game and do the basics and not let these things distract you.
I'm not sure what the consternation was all about, but I just tell you what, is that the field just shouldn't have thrown the ball. They've done so much of the 1%ers just wrong today. They haven't got it right. They've bowled a couple of no balls, drop catches, misfield. They just haven't been on song at all, the Speen Ghar Tigers. Regardless
of what happens, the pitch, the umpiring decisions, you've got to put those things out of your head and you have to focus on your own game. And you get the feeling that the Tigers have just been distracted here.
They're going to push hard, but they'll be happy with the single. They'll know each other's games very well, these two Zimbabwean internationals. They'll know exactly what's required from here on in to get their side over the line.
And there's really no need to take any risks here from the Knights. You're winning this game 95 times out of 100, and unless you do something silly, well, one of these two batsmen does something silly, then the game's dead. They've shut it down. The only way you lose this game is if you open the door by playing a silly shot and trying to be over-attacking. Now you just close it down.
Chipped away. Yeah, all in control. Realised that he wasn't quite there, didn't follow through. Yeah, I reckon 99 times out of 100, to be honest. I don't see from here, with 7 wickets in hand, 2 batsmen relatively well set, under-runner ball to get. But as you say, you never know. There's a first time for everything.
I'm sure I've played in teams that have lost from here. Back in the 90s, I'm sure I played in a couple of England teams that lost from this position.
Oh, there we go. There's that deceptive delivery. It's really a good one. He just looks so innocuous, does this bloke, and then he bowls one there. You think it's a full P, and it dips on you and really nearly got under the bat of Sikandar Raza.
It's a cracker, isn't it? It's an absolute beauty. Dean Jones described him before beautifully as a giraffe that had just been born. He's like staggering around there. He's like, he as a batsman, you almost feel like he's lost his run-up 3 or 4 times throughout the period of his run-up, and he just keeps coming at you. But he's got a good variety to everything. He's doing the basics well. Doesn't look the best. He's not winning a beauty contest, is he, Cambo?
No, and if he was 140 k's an hour, like Franklin Stevenson, that would be a great variation. Would be world-class, unplayable. Flicked away on the leg side. Again, they'll apply some pressure, but he's off the boundary pretty well, the fielder out there, so just be the single. That's all they need, really. No mess, no fuss. Don't have to play any big shots. I'm sure in the 25 balls that are remaining, there'll be an opportunity to hit the ball to the boundary, but for now, I just got to concentrate on getting the singles and rotating the strike.
And this is where the experience should come in. These two batsmen should be talking to each other. So Sikandar Raza is saying, I'm going to be 20 not out at the end, and Burl should be saying, I'm going to be 30 not out at the end of the game, and we're going to take the game and just win it and close it out.
$109 for 3. just lost too many wickets at the end of their innings, the Speen Ghar Tigers, and at this stage, the Green Worm is on top. They've only lost the 3 wickets, and they're cruising.
Look at them. Looks like a domain name there. There's so many W's in there. It's www. all the way through. It's Knights in a very comfortable position. Tigers there. You can see lost. Was it 1, 2, 8 wickets in the space of 7 or 8 overs? It's no good. You can't win T20 games when you're doing that.
No, they undid all the good work. They were looking so good after 10 overs. They might get 150, 160, which would have been very, very hard for this Knights team to chase down, but it wasn't to be. 130 was all they could muster. Bilal Khan back into the attack, bustling left armour. Normally bowls left arm over the wicket, and looks like from where the batsman's standing, he's told the umpire he's going to test round the wicket. Third man up in the circle, fine leg up in the circle as well. Full and just chip down the ground. What do you do here if you Shafiqullah, the captain of the Speen Ghar Tigers? Do you let it continue in this fashion? Do you try and bring it to a head by bringing a few more people in the circle? How do you create that pressure? I don't think in this situation you can just sit back and hope for things to go your way. I think you've got to force the issue. You've got to try and create a run out, create a wicket from some inspiring captaincy. And for me, just 4 in the circle when sides need less than run a ball, and they've got 7 wickets in the shed. Even if it's finished in the next 2 overs because they take on the boundary, you've got to try and force the issue, I think.
Why are you asking me, Cambo? You were one of Zimbabwe's finest captains. I know exactly what you would have done here. You would have brought them up and you would have made them hit over the top. Yeah, back in your day, mate. I know you certainly one of the more attacking captains on the international circuit, and then faced with this situation, which you would have been a lot as Zimbabwe captain, because you didn't necessarily have the greatest players, and you would have been in this situation several times. You always made the opposition hit over the top to win the game. If they did it, fair enough, they win the game. But you weren't going to die wondering, mate. And I can see that that attitude still lives on today, mate.
And as Afghanistan progress on their journey through international cricket and test cricket, this is the sort of stuff that they will also be confronted with, and it's not always going to be pretty, but it's pointless just dragging this out right to the death with only 4 in the circle. Slices that one away, should go for 4, yeah. Really good shot from Sikandar Raza. Just gave himself a bit of room, knowing full well that Bilal Khan is targeting the stumps, and opens the face and beats the man at backward point.
Yeah, beautiful shot. These boys, they really have done well up until now. Going back to that point, Cambo, I can't help but think that Afghanistan, they've got you in here to commentate, but I can't help but think that they shouldn't be picking your brain. As a man who was once captain of one of the minnows, just starting out international arena, there's so much knowledge you could pass on to them, help them on their journey, maybe some sort of a consultancy role I can see there for you.
Full toss, no third man, nobody out there, another boundary. They're cruising, and Adam Hollyoak's smile is getting even larger here in the commentary box.
I didn't think I could smile any wider than I have.
Just can't help but think that the large lady is warming up. She's just testing the vocals, about to burst into a great opera.
Look at the crowd, they've come filing in. It's packed here. It wasn't so busy early on, but now they're starting to file in. The word's going around. This competition's heating up here.
Trying to find that gap again. Doesn't manage to find the gap on this occasion, but he's knocked the stuffing out of the chase now, has Sikandar Raza. Those 2 boundaries has put it beyond doubt.
Oh yeah, it would take a pretty special effort to lose it from here. The Knights have played an almost perfect hand. They fielded and bowled beautifully, under pressure. And wow, Haven't they played beautifully?
Oh, chipped in on the leg side. I reckon they'll come back for two. Bill turns quickly. Yeah, easy. He can jog the last 15 yards.
Well, I don't know what they did to him in there in the... It's 121 for 3 after 17 overs. Yeah, just saying there that Burl, we saw him almost stretch it off before. He sprinted back for 2 there. The physios here have just done a magnificent job to get him back out there on the park.
Miraculous recovery. He really had to test the knee out then. Well, the boost defenders are in 4th position and looks like they might remain there. Really, really good stuff from them, and they've snuck in, it looks like, because the Speen Ghar Tigers are going to remain in 5th position. This is their 5th game. They're only going to get 4 points. Their net run rate is way below that of the boost defenders. So they're going to sneak in under their inspirational coach, the legend that is Adam Hollyoak.
Well, I'm probably saying just rather happy coach rather than inspirational at the moment.
Administering last rites. The Knights at this stage, they go to 8 points, don't forget that. Yes, the boost defenders, you'll be happy. The rest of your team will be celebrating big time. You're going to come back and get a chance to play off for an opportunity to play the loser of the eliminator. So it's going to be very interesting, your journey insofar as the playoffs are concerned. But the Knights, they might well finish now in 1st or 2nd position, and if they do that, and they win that playoff game, they go straight into the finals. So very important, this victory for them as well.
Well, we need that extra game, I think, if we get in there. We need the practice we can get before the final.
Swung away, another boundary, a step closer.
Like
Not a great delivery, not a great delivery at all. Sliding down the leg side, and all he had to do was help it on its way.
Like a nail in the coffin, Cambo. It just... you get the feeling now this game's over. Tigers' heads are down. Knights are looking confident. Oh! Shpageeza!
And what a way to end it! A clinical display from the Ainak Knights. They've won the game comfortably in the end. Plenty of balls to spare. Sikandaraza does it in style. It's been a professional performance. A ZZ Bank Maximin, and went a long way back as well. Terrific stroke, and sums up the day really for the Ainak Knights. They've totally dominated here, and the Speen Ghar Tigers, well, that's the end of their competition. They fought valiantly, started off really well, won their first 2 games, but have been unable to maintain the momentum, and this will be the end of their efforts for 2017.
Yeah, it's been a shutout, hasn't it? I mean, from ball 1, really, they've been fantastic. They've been in the better team, the Knights. They've bowled better, they fielded better, and then followed it up with a clinical batting display. They'll be, their coach, Andy Moles, will be incredibly happy with that.